That is certainly a title, and you'll actually learn what that means in a moment. But right now, as you see, we have Dead Rising 3, but this doesn't look entirely right. So I'm going to invite both my couch and our host, and really the audience, if they'd like to join in for the official title. Well, let me just sign in here. Perfect, you have my Xbox login. It's not just a bunch of letters. GDQ doesn't let me type the full name because there's things like letter gaps. They tried putting it in there, but it's too long. As you can imagine, that is an acronym. And also, hey, winners get chipped as they, we have all the intro things here. But for those of you who may be wondering, what is this abomination of a title? Well, once we pass the Capcom logo. There it is. It is Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha. New Game Plus. Anyway, I am your runner, Ecdycis, and I'd like to introduce my couch before we do begin. We do have SweedOla, who is not Swedish, but British. We do have Texan Red Wolf, who is not Texan, but Canadian. And we have NallyQ, who has a Q in her name. Anyway, she does it. It's there. Yeah. The run's gonna be pretty simple. We have these 4 districts. Also, I guess I should talk what this DLC is, which we will more in a moment. But this is a weird DLC because I also apologize to GDQ staff. Dead Rising 3 has a PC port. This is only available on Xbox. It's really weird, and a lot of you may not have seen this. And it's gonna be very confusing for the world of horror. And I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, this is a kind of a joke DLC that's meant to represent a lot of the fighting game stuff at the time. Very specifically, like Street Fighter. They had all those names, Street Fighter 4. Anyway, you have your characters. You have Nick, Annie, Chuck, Frank, and we're picking Felicia from Darkstalkers, which is a horror fighting game, actually. So we have some horror game rep here and fighting game rep here. And this run's gonna be very interesting for the next hour or so. Anyway, time will begin in a moment here. We can count down 3, 2, 1 if we'd like. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go! So, just to talk about what this is. The plot of this is that they decided to take the Dead Rising 3 story and then they all are cosplayers, so they get different outfits. However, these outfits have special powers depending on the character you pick. And they'll give you a bunch of mini-game objectives. Round 1, kill 50 zombies. It's more or less a tutorial, and you have this.
Such an awful sound in your ear right away.
It really is. Anyway, the idea behind this, though, is that all of the characters play as the character they're cosplaying as, but they're still the main character. So the main character of Dead Rising 3 is Nick Ramos, or Ramos, what they say in this game, or Rick if you listen to the script, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a typo in one of the scripts, like case 7. They just called him Rick.
Anyway, with that, we're going to have Nick Felicia, and we pick Felicia because she has Rolling Buckler. It's going to sound weird, I assure you. I know it sounds like a few things. It is Rolling Buckler. It is her hyper special, or super. If you play any fighting games in the Capcom roster, you may be familiar with the idea of the supers. And hers is just by far the best because it's going to be very fast. That being said, it's going to be very fun to post I believe GDU has the spin emotes, and it's going to be weird because although the title says Dead Rising, this is going to be probably closer to something from the Sonic block because we're going to do a lot of spinning. Anyway, this is going to be a good time to describe, I guess, more about the general game. As I said, they kind of give you general goals. This is going to be destroying the zombies, we're going to be driving around, and we're going to make sure that we don't fill up the bike. Since this is a lot more arcadey, I can't get it back. It just vanishes.
Yeah, and there's not an extra power, vehicle power up in this section to replace it, right?
I think there's 3, but they're not in convenient locations. So usually it's going to be just this.
Just a reminder, don't pick up that flame power.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give you a good reminder.
I almost walked into it. But yeah, this is a weird DLC because it came out on only the Xbox One, and I had to bring a Series X on a plane, which honestly might be the toughest part of this run.
It's such a shame we never got it on PC.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why. Also,
I think it's because they just stopped updating the PC port.
They shut down Capcom Vancouver.
No, this is before that.
Why am I getting started? Yeah, right now we're mostly just kind of killing these zombies. It's gonna be funny because the run starts after this. This is more or less the tutorial. I've talked already why we pick these characters. We're gonna be mainly sticking with Felicia, and we can talk about why it's New Game Plus. If you do New Game, you only have the base characters without the special costumes, so you wouldn't be able to have this outfit. And there's not really any other outfits that are as What did I crash on? That stop right there.
Crashed on a little, like, bit of the rock.
Yeah, collision in this game is not kind, no matter what version of it you're playing.
Yeah, it should be mentioned as well. We're going to learn a lot about Dead Rising 3 physics, and if I ever seem like I'm weirdly going slow at any part of this run, it's because this game's really going to like the idea of like getting any aerials, bumping into anything. It kind of just behaves how it wants.
Hopefully it doesn't happen to him in this run, but if you launch off a ramp, sometimes you'll hit something in mid-air and the bike will flip itself in a random direction because this game understands physics.
Anyway, as an invitation here for, I guess, fun for donations, every time we beat a round, we're going to be getting a fighting game quote. We have fighting is like dancing. You just need a sense of rhythm. That being said, there's like 4 of these, and we have like 20 stages. They're going to cycle through. So if you want to, like, for our host, for some fun donations to be read, maybe some fighting game quotes. It could be nice and fun. Anyway, Ateatree, take away with a couple.
That one's Elena, right? Street Fighter 3?
Which one?
The fighting's like dancing. You need a sense of rhythm. That's
I think it is, yeah.
That'll count as our first one. All right, so now we're on the second hub.
Let's go.
Okay, so now the run actually begins. Our mission here is to break the generators, and you're going to see really quickly why Rolling Buckler is going to be so good. We're going to be traveling around the map. Every level's going to have, obviously, its own objectives. This one's just going to be find generators, break generators. And you're going to notice very quickly why we like this character.
Also fun and crazy that the actual voice actors for the characters are actually voicing what the characters are saying. Like, the actual voice actor for Rick is actually doing this voice, which is really weird. Seeing that if you think of like Frank has a skin called
BB Hood.
BB Hood, and
oh, I got it.
Oh, hey, nice.
I think it's kind of awkward in how you move like this. Because you can't go over some things sometimes. That sounds really... Also, I didn't hit that. It sounds kind of weird because you think, oh yeah, he needs to go over that, but you have very ungenerous physics in this game. So when it works, it works. Anyway, now we get to go to this garage, and we actually are going to be looking for something special in the upcoming area because I have to keep an eye on the Supra. NallyQ, would you like to explain, I guess, what we're doing?
Yep, so we are going to pick up that power. It's going to give us a lot more damage so we could affect these, break down these doors. We're going to pick up this car. We need 2 things here. We need to kill a certain amount of zombies, and we need a capsule. A capsule is going to fill up our super gauge. That is going to be necessary for the next round.
Oh, I want that. I can't get that one.
And then the other thing that we need is, what is it called? There's a capsule? Not a capsule, a drone, whatever it is.
It's from Strider.
Strider, yeah. So we need to pick that up for the next round because we'll be using it on the bus that's there.
Yeah, we got very lucky. We got it like immediately, and we just have to kill these zombies now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like they knew you wanted those super capsules.
Absolutely. Like in practice, I don't even think I got one.
No, not like none at all.
All right, there we go. We have a nice clear. Ateatree, take it away with a couple.
Here comes a new donation. It's $100 from DJ Crabhat. Big ups to Ecdycis. Dead Rising is the best video game series. I remember playing Felicia in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm gonna take you for a ride. Thank you so much. And $25 from Ignameo. Thank you, Ecdycis, for so many amazing streams and helping to show how fun horror can be.
Thank you. And right now, I actually going to show you one of the greatest horror game bosses of all time. I know in the last run, we had Jack Baker. I'm sure we have plenty of others like Pyramid Head, but we have the greatest icon, a car.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we have to destroy the car. This level is going to go by almost immediately. You may have noticed in the last level, we grabbed the Strider upgrade. Yeah, we're just going to do this, where we just kind of wreck it from very far away, and...
Just button mash.
I really hope they're insured.
No, I don't think they are. That's why it's a horror game. They don't have insurance. And then clear! Yay!
Oh, my God.
Anyway, if you have another one, feel free to go for it. A lot of these round results are just going to be this where it tallies the points.
No problem. CC donates $25, donating to hear Ateatree say, Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha. Again, good luck, Egg.
All right. You may have noticed as well, we have the 3 out of 5 rounds completed. Every hub's going to have 5 rounds. And this is probably my favorite of Ingleton. This is kind of like where the route really comes together. And honestly, if you know Dead Rising, you know Survivors. We have a Survivor mission. However, this is how the Survivor should have always been. It's like kind of like a director's cut thing. And you can see, yeah, look, there they are. They're just, help. Giants. They're also much safer from the zombies.
It's just because of funky dance,
We're seeing a lot of these funky dances. I'm making sure that we're maneuvering through these rooms, all nice and neat. But the big thing is whenever I am trying to see those giant S's, I'm trying to drive into them so we can kind of just keep the spinning going the whole time. And it's funny, we're going so fast, the room's not going to load in.
Yeah.
And I can't actually see where I'm going sometimes. Oh, look, there we go, loaded in.
Does that always happen?
Because we're going too fast, yes.
It's going too fast, but it's also for the Series X, I believe, as well. It's like not more powerful than, say, the Xbox One when it's launched.
Yeah.
And considering that when this game came out, they wanted to use the Xbox Connect for voice commands, which is really
we got
weird.
Oh, nice.
Also nice.
But yes, it is weird because reported we have the Series X version of this game, so it's, I guess, not entirely behaving the way it should. But that's to our advantage. Also, we're going to have a neat reference. It does lose a little bit of time. It'll be really funny for the Resident Evil fans. I mean, we're between Resident Evil, 7 and 1, or the 1 HD remake. But we have the best Resident Evil character, Tofu!
Time to
The
be
final
the tastiest
survivor.
of snacks.
Anyway, something funny about Tofu is it's really bad to beat Tofu.
Yeah. Good old tofu.
Yeah, the zombies like eating tofu. Who knew? They just, that's how zombies work. They like, I guess, brains and tofu.
They decided to go on that vegetarian diet.
Oh, wouldn't they be eating grains at that point?
Fair.
Anyway, we're almost on the survivor level. Something very important that I'm trying to make sure I do here is right when we're done, I do want to refill our super, so we have that for the next stage. And we have clear. So how about we get a donation or two?
2 coming right up. Cello Vorita with $25 to MSF. Hey, Ek, I've been up for 36 hours, but it's worth it to be here in person for another one of your runs. This game is a wild ride. It's such a joy to see you crush it, which you certainly are. And $50 from Fairy Fun. I saw that quilt and I knew I had to donate. Good luck on the run, Ek. Love watching your show on Hotfix. Less than 3.
Thank you. All right, so we are almost done with the first area. Every 5th round is actually going to be a boss stage. So this is kind of just like, this whole area really is like an introduction to the DLC, and then the next ones are gonna have a lot more going with it. Anyway, we get I think it's supposed to be a Dodge Charger. I'm not the best with cars. I've always called it the Dodge Charger.
It's supposed to be a Camaro.
Is it a Camaro?
Yeah.
Well, no.
The more you know.
The more you know. Either way, we're going to lose it almost immediately. We have it for a very brief bit of time, and we get the boss, Super Zombie. He's just larger than the other ones. He's super. Luckily for us, though, we can just kind of spam supers, and it should hopefully take him out. He's a little bit left.
There you go.
And we're going to run away from the money, because collecting money loses time. There we go. We're nice and safe. And you can kind of appreciate the real design of Nick's costume, which unfortunately really highlights all of his features. It is certainly a marvel to look at. And if you didn't notice in the car, the wig actually sticks out on the top. Anyway, first round entirely cleared.
Well done, Ek. Want me to sneak one in here?
Absolutely.
Fish with $30 to MSF. I've been watching GDQ since I was very young with my dad. Hi, Pickle Man. And now I'm an adult. Couldn't have asked for a better uplifting community, having great role models like Kung Fu who taught me to dye my hair bright colors and play whatever games I wanted to as a young girl, as well as GDQ as a whole teaching me to give and that we as a community can change lives for the better. Thank you, GDQ, for raising me. And by the way, I think the mold might be bad. Less than 3.
Just a little bit. All right, so we saw our first area, Ingleton. Also, the locations in this game are based on the main game. The main game, you would be going through the 4 hubs. I think it's Ingleton, South Almuda. I don't even remember the other 2. It's like Sunset Hills and Central City. It's supposed to be like fake Los Angeles, because they don't call it like that in the game. It's like how Dead Rising 2 had fake Vegas. There's no fake Los Angeles, which is filled with, I guess, like cutouts of survivors, I guess. Anyway, this lets you swap characters you want. We're not going to do that. We're just going straight to Central City, and we're back on Felicia. Which, that splash art is horrifying. The more I look at it, the more I'm horrified.
It's perfectly fine.
There we go. Okay. So this is going to be a more kind of actual round. Also, Dino Crisis.
Okay.
We need to destroy the bombs. We're not going to quite be doing the same strat immediately because the bombs are really close to each other. But it kind of teaches you, like, hey, here's the new objective, which is just another form of generator, but now it's a bomb. But it's big.
It is a big bomb.
That it is. I'm not going to be using the super every time for damage, usually because it's rather unreliable. You may have saw earlier I straight up missed at one point. Also, I have to be a little bit careful not to spam that attack either, because you can very easily fall off. There we go. We have one more, and then we can kind of sail through the level a lot more. Yeah, there's a lot of references to other Capcom media at this time. I guess they let Capcom Vancouver kind of just include everything they wanted. Like, this came out in, like, 2014. You have references to, like, Power Stone and Captain Commando and Dino Crisis.
It's like how half the floor there is not even loading because you're going so fast.
That is speed, isn't it? If I get the bomb. Hey, we did.
I love how even on Xbox or like the Series X, this game is still fairly broken and doesn't want to function.
Yeah.
Dead Rising 3 is a very interesting game. When I play the main game, there's been times I've fallen through the ground.
Yep.
Love that.
It's not a bad game. It's just very quirky. All right, so the reason we do this order, we're going to be nice and close to the exit here, and we want to make sure we can, I guess, chain the super into... A lot of the runs are going to be spinning. I imagine there's a lot of just spinning in general in the GDQ chat. Lastly, I want to make sure you grab that. I missed it entirely. Oh my god, I whipped it. I think there's a second one somewhere around here. Yeah. We'll hey, right there. There we go. I didn't miss it. See, we didn't miss it. We got it.
Perfectly fine.
Also, if you are imagining, this is surprisingly not as hard to control as it may look. It's very camera-oriented, which is kind of weird to describe, but it isn't too bad to control. All right, anyway, there we are. We start the final bomb. We're almost out of the stage. Let's see if I can get over to that. Nope. Anyway, clear. Woo! And how about we get a couple of donations?
Taduki with $75 should be asleep at this point because of my new job, but I gotta show my support to my favorite horror streamer, Ecdycis. Go Swarm. And Ishante with a very similar sentiment with a $50 donation to Doctors Without Borders. Ecdycis, love watching your streams. Save up to donate for your run. Best of luck. Love watching your Dead Rising streams and other horror games. $50 to Runner's Choice, and best of luck in your run, Ish.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, so now we're gonna kill the zombies. They're like bombs, but they're zombies.
Ready?
This time around, we have a lot more that we're gonna be doing here, and a lot of this run really did kind of become routing, and how are we going to move around, because it's way too easy to run out of this. If I seem like I'm ever taking weird directions on the way we're moving, that is because I want to make sure we're chaining into as many of these supers as possible. If I ran out, that would not be very good, and this game is going to have a bit of a risky time at the end. Also, we can probably just get a fresh one in a good direction. There we go. But yeah, there's a lot of spinning, as you can imagine. When I think I submitted this, I mentioned it was like horror Sonic. All right, we have 4 more to go. Here we go. There is going to be some issues as well when we're progressing around the map, and that is because of these like waist-high blockades. I don't know what to call them. Fences. And it creates areas. Creates a lot of problems in the route overall. We do have like, I guess, a strategy here that is going to be like what? Get out of the way. Be a little bit rough. I do want to make sure we're going to be good. Once you kill the zombie, I have to book it quickly to the left as soon as possible. Hopefully we can get there. It's right there. Maybe. Hey, whoa, barely got it. Okay, barely got it. Okay, I was actually a little worried about that. You're saying?
No, I said close.
It was close. Annie, how about a donation?
Yomil Kristen with $15 and a favorite piece of Capcom ephemera of theirs. You can't fight if you can't cook. El Fuerte, Street Fighter 4. Good luck on the run. And chat, I'd love to hear and read your favorite pieces of Capcom trivia, quotes, anything else you want to send in with your donation. gdq.com/donate. Sorry, gdq.gg. That's the one.
All right, so now we have our bonus stage. This is probably the most awkward one in the game because it looks like the old Grand Theft Autos. And I don't know any other game that's like this, but that might be because I don't know too much also. It's going to be a little bit weird as well because we are on a timer. However, we can't save a good amount of time if we can kill them quickly. It's going to be weird because they come out in waves, so we can get swarmed by a bunch of these guys at some point, which isn't the end of the world. It's mainly, we don't want to be moving too much and kind of let those green missiles do the work. That being said, I guess we can call it, Grand Dead Auto, I guess, with all the undead around.
They're not really dead. They're more bikers there.
They're absolutely dead when I'm done with them.
I mean, that's true.
We're at 11. All right, we're not doing bad. Not doing bad.
In the practice room, I couldn't hear a lot of the music, and now I'm just vibing with it.
Yeah,
It's
honestly,
so good.
A lot of it speaks for itself. I think it is remixes from like various fighting games and like other like Mega Man stuff too. I don't know all of them though.
I think it just abruptly stops as well.
Hey, that was good. Clear.
Very nice.
Pretty clean.
And something I did want to mention, when we had a really close call on the Super in the last level, that is probably one of the most important grabs in the game, because this level coming up is going to introduce a new mechanic, and probably one of the more fun ones that really shows why Felicia is the character choice. If you are doing this casually, there's a lot of other characters you can pick, but they're better for score. We're not going for score, we're going for speed. So, all right, how about one donation before we get to this level?
You got it. Akira Katayama, $50 to MSF. Okay, Felicia West is a side of horror block I wasn't ready for, but nightmares to be aside, it's still an awesome run.
It is horrored away. Honestly, that licking sound is the worst part of this run by far. That is I don't know how he made that sound, and I don't want to know.
Honestly, I've been wanting to ask what your theory of how they gave like vocal direction to the guy that played Nick.
They put him in a catsuit. They just let him go free in the studio. I think that's what they did.
They said, we really need you to embody Felicia. Just be a cat.
They were just like,
Exactly.
go for it.
And this mission is going to be a lot of retrieving vehicles. I am trying to take a very deliberate route. I really hope I don't mess this up because this is one of the worst ones. But before we do that, I'm actually going to run back here and grab this because I always forget it. Anyway, this is a forklift, and it will immediately like topple over if I try taking any speed on this. So we're trying to make sure we get there nice and gentle. Also, going back to the direction of Felicia, like the best way I can think about this is it's somehow more terrifying than like Cats the Musical, the movie. I remember that movie came out a couple years ago.
Yes, no, exactly what you're
this is
about.
not worse than Cats, all right?
I'm not saying it's worse. I'm saying it's like in the realm.
No.
They really focused on that costume.
Also, wait, did you see Cats?
Is that just a question in general?
Yes.
Unfortunately, yes, I have.
Oh.
I feel sorry for you.
It was nightmare fuel. I don't recommend it.
Oh, I could have grabbed that one. I hope this doesn't topple over.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you're good.
You lied to me!
No.
Wait, you're right.
I told you, you'll be fine.
Anyway, Dead Rising 3 physics, they're probably the most horrifying part of this game.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. The PC version of this game is capped at 30 FPS. You can't uncap it to like 120, but the physics just become really unstable, and it's just the weirdest
It's
thing ever.
unplayable.
Yeah, it is, that happens a lot, and again, like I mentioned, if you crash the vehicle, your only option is to walk back to the spawn point and get it again. The game doesn't let you just go back in the car. It like just self-destructs, it vanishes. And with as far as we're going in these, I think this is probably like one of the most apparent levels as to why we play as this cat. Oh wait. Okay, we're good.
Are you trying to flip the vehicles?
No, it just happens.
The real test is going to be when he has to deal with a roller hog.
Yeah, we have one more coming up, and this is going to be a very big jump because, as you may have noticed, my super is running low, and we always need a full super. The only way we're going to be getting it is by getting an icon that's at the end of this jump on that ramp, which I think the icon's actually a reference to the, like, I don't know what it's called. It's like I think it's a shmup. Like, I think it was like 1942, the game. I don't remember which one it was, but it's referencing this. And hopefully we can get it. Let's see.
You're fine.
Hey, we got it. Wait,
You're
I want to keep the car.
I told you, you're fine.
The chopper's just as stressful as the roller hog because no matter how, if you like hit a zombie the wrong way, it will just twist the chopper around.
I almost crashed a police car. Every vehicle in this game is just unstable. Anyway, clear!
Hooray!
I'm gonna get a couple donations in there. See, don't exaggerate. See, just a scratch.
Mindless Spit with $200, donating for my first time attending GDQ Live. Watching Horror Block from the first row is amazing. Less than 3. EGP Noodles sending in $10. GDQ is my favorite time of year, and I always look forward to the Horror Block. Love to see Dead Rising runs. Good luck, Ecdycis. GDQ hype. Less than 3.
All right, so now we're in the boss stage. This is gonna go very quickly. NallyQ, would you like to explain kind of what we're doing for this area?
Yep, so for here, we're actually going to go around and pick up some items. One of them is going to be a weapon, right? But we have to kill the zombies first. I believe there's 50 of them. We're basically going to mow them down with this rocket launcher. Once we get to 50, we are going to fight the super boss that is in this level.
All right.
Here we go.
I might just be able to do this. All right, there's 2 down. And also one of the coolest songs in all of Capcom.
It really does go with everything.
It does. Anyway, we got the power, we got this weapon. It kind of just melts these zombies. And oh, look, they're already dead.
Amazing.
The power with a super weapon.
It's so good.
The regular zombies are giving me more trouble than the super zombies. Get away, what are they doing?
Oh, you really need the health there, right?
They are right on me. Trying to avoid the money in the background and there we go, clear. And now we're about halfway through the game, I should say, right now. And yeah, that was hub 2. We're gonna be entering harder hubs. I think it's weird because while we are halfway through the game, like the last 2 hubs, it's getting harder, and that's gonna get harder than that. And the final hub really does change a lot of it. So we're getting fully into the run from where we were. Anyway, since this round is done, how about we get a couple of donations while we pick Felicia once again.
Sure. First, an update. We are, you said, getting through the halfway point of the run. We're a third of the way through our bonus DLC levels incentive for Pac-Man CEDX Plus. If you want to see more fantastic 360-era games, get your donations in for that one. And Iono with $50 saying Ecdycis plus Horror Block equals iconic. That's some math I can get behind.
How about 2 more?
You've got it. Thorky donating $25 to MSF. Did I just see Darkstalkers rep at GDQ? Heck yeah, I'm donating for that. You did see it, and you still are. I hope you are enjoying. And $100 from BuzzMars. So glad I woke up early for Horror Block, even though I am a scaredy cat. Loving the run, Ecdycis. You always make horror games look not as scary, but this time it is definitely with the help of Felicia and or Sonic. Good luck on the run.
All right, so now we're entering Sunset Hills. This is the next hub. All the levels are going to be a little bit tougher because, like, hey, you understand the game now. Now it's time to really begin. Which, also, I should mention, every time we end a stage, you don't get to keep anything. So we have to kind of refill super every time. We should be able to get it right here. And okay, that was almost me. I was about to say, like, if it wasn't apparent every time, the vehicles in this game are probably one of the biggest challenges. They're fast, but I think I almost like crashed even before I said that.
Do you find that it is more difficult as you get through the areas, or because of the way that you've routed the game that it's just kind of trivialized now?
Honestly, it just happens. There's no science behind it. You just hope that they are going to work with you today, and usually they don't.
Sounds like a Dead Rising run.
Good old Dead Rising.
Yeah, and luckily for us, we're gonna be able to do something pretty fun for a strat, because once we get up here, we get like a little mini fight. It's gonna be some of the bikers from earlier, if you remember. Those are the guys on the bikes when we were on that car that we just kept shooting them. They're right there. We have to kill them. So we're gonna get power, and we're gonna get that rocket launcher again. We wanna do this because we wanna slowly kind of make our way over to the next super, and yeah, no, it kind of melts them. Where are the other two? Wait, are we? All right, we're good. I like how it says defeat after kill. Why?
Well, you did defeat them.
I suppose that's true, yeah. Anyway, clear. Yeah, like, it's kind of funny. This game is one of the easiest games I think I've ever ran at a GDQ for donations, because we have this giant round results screen where there's no way I can make it faster. So how about we get a couple of donations or anything you need to read?
Sure, and one of my favorite pieces of Capcom ephemera, shoutouts to Central Highway from Mega Man X, the music to the end of that level there. $5 from Borsurer. Oh my God! And $10 from Adam the Feverish. Singing, dancing, kicking your rear end. I have all the traits of a superstar. From Felicia.
All right, so this level is probably one of the ones that has undergone the most routing, because the survivors are back and they need help. So one of my couch like to help explain while I try and help these poor survivors who are definitely struggling. I guess the other two can just like do that dance.
So basically on this whole level, originally what ended up happening was, it was like the route change near the end of it. You can either go to the left or to the right. Now, originally it was go to the right side first. However, recently X are going to the left, and the left side is a lot easier because you can grab the survivors here, and then you don't have to backtrack all the way around. So it's kind of just re-changing the ending here from going to the from the right all the way to the left. Then it goes back from left to right. That's pretty much the biggest change here. But yeah, just saving survivors. So else really to it.
That's kind of weird as well, because you may have noticed this is like one of the only levels that we're not spinning the whole time. Whenever we need a turn, it's very difficult to actually do that. It's really just like massive straight lines that we can really get around to that. And even as we're going up this hill, we're barely gonna have time because we have to immediately start jumping again. Like right there. I try to believe this jump's not gonna be a problem. It's usually not, but it has the chance to. I don't know why, it's just physics.
Physics in this game are a mystery.
Hey, at least we got it.
What jump?
That jump.
That jump?
Yeah, that
that
jump
jump.
looks easy, but like you almost miss it every time.
Because the game's just constantly building up speed as you fall. So it's kind of like, if you just roll off it, it also gives you a lot of speed. So it's kind of like you can overshoot it and fall off.
We almost got it. And the best part about this routing and why we do it this way is just for that super. Although we do have to drop off the right way, and there's a good chance it might not work out. Let's hope it does. Let's cross our fingers.
I believe in you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I love their dance. Just
Yeah. Oh, this is different. Just hands up and down on that.
Yeah, there's like, I don't think there's enough space without us smacking each other in the
you can do that one.
This one.
Yeah, you can do that one.
You got that hand gesture. You got this one.
Oh god, I whipped it. Okay, that's fine.
It's fine.
I had to take the stairs of shame. Or the ramp, I guess.
Ramp of shame.
Oh, I was gonna go inside of the stairs. I was like, oh, wait, the ramp's right here. Out of the way, you. All right, there we go. All right, rescue the survivors. We did it. Where does he put them?
In his pocket.
Clear.
In his pocket.
In his
What pocket?
What pocket?
In the wig.
Anyway, while we let you think about that question, how about we think about a couple donations?
Glad, that's a great thought. Backside of order with $5. This is what you get when Horror Block and Silly Block merge. Yeah, pretty much. Chaos Cloud with $50 to MSF. Sometimes I'm whew, but now that SGDQ is on, I'm a bit more wee.
Hey.
All
Oki
right.
sends in $10. Long-time watcher, first-time donator. Love to donate to a good cause.
All right, thank you. This is going to be one of the easiest bonus rounds. And I guess we should talk a little about the design of this game a little bit more. It's meant to be played with friends, but I mean, I don't know how many friends I know that have an Xbox One, Xbox Live, and a copy of this game. So when you have levels like this, we're just gonna bolt to the end. It's like, hey, here's all these weapons. We're gonna ignore every single one of them because you just have to get to the end of the stage.
One might say that you're supersonic racing.
You might. Although it's a race of one.
To get to the plane,
Yeah,
to save time.
to take off.
Clear.
What is speed running if not racing against yourself?
Exactly.
I suppose that is true. And how about we get one donation? Maybe two.
Les Pirate 89 with a $50 donation. Thank you for all you do and what you support.
You have time for one more?
Alrighty, Nick's Dance Belt with a $5 donation. I'm tired, boss.
Honestly say. All right, destroy the generators. The generator levels are easily the best ones. We get like a full-fledged route that isn't going in a straight line. We do have one up here. That's gonna be our last one. For right now, we're just gonna make our way over here. It's gonna be a nice little loop. Trying to make sure that each time we do this, we're not going to run out of that super. There's a lot of levels that get broken down by don't run out of super, break the object. Which maybe that's why people don't know about this DLC as much as you imagine.
I'm pretty sure it's more the fact that it's just hidden on the Xbox. Like, unless you physically own the Xbox version of this game, you don't really know about it. But then again, it's like most people probably didn't play DR3.
It's charming. One of the favorite things that we don't get to see, unfortunately, is if you pick Regina from Dino Crisis, she just summons a pterodactyl, and it comes down and it hits everything. What? Why did that guy hit me?
He had a bomb.
How did you explode?
A bomb hit me.
He had a bomb head.
And they do that.
Yeah, he was a bomber man.
Oh, I probably could have saved that. Should be all right. We don't need too much more of the super. And luckily this level, we don't have to worry too much about chaining the... I don't know what that attack is. We haven't even named it. It's just Hiya, I guess. Also, that zombie went flying. Also, that works. And the whole reason why I grabbed this in the last level is just for this one, so I don't have to walk over there. Am I even hitting it?
Nope.
Bam.
Oh, you are.
What is the health tied to right now?
Different generator behind you.
I guess it is a generator. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
I just, you did ask. You said what's it tied to? Generator.
I suppose that does track. One thing that does help with this game is actually playing regular Dead Rising 3. Helps know the map a lot more, which I guess is something pretty obvious, but you don't think about it until you have to move around as a rolling cat. Something that should also be noted is with this game, there's a strong chance we probably get a PB. I ended up getting one in the practice room, so I feel pretty good about it. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. Also, this is one of the worst screens in the game because it just zooms right into the rolling, and it's very hard to see. All right, I could grab that. That's fine. I couldn't get over it.
So close.
Yeah, just a little bit more was needed. It'll be okay. Also, sometimes the zombies just don't want to, like, stop. They'll just block you, and nothing else gets blocked but that one zombie. I don't know why.
I think it's tied to the physics.
Everything's clear. There's a lot of tied to physics in this game. But you know what? Don't give up your dream. Don't be afraid to fail. Anyway, how about we get a couple donations?
And don't forget to go to gdq.gg/donate or use the Twitch charity extension right in your browser like these folks who want to win some amazing prizes. Beaselrat says, give me those prizes with their $50 donation, which enters them into everything in the current block, except, that'll also help get you towards the total incentive necessary, the $250 for the full week prizes, and $50 from Paper Valerian. This one is for the prize team. I love their energy always.
Ready?
All right. So, now we're on the boss stage once again. Luckily, we don't need as much super for this one. I didn't have to stress nearly as much because you get motorcycle pretty much immediately. That being said, we still have to worry about motorcycling.
Or physics be physics.
They do be physics.
Chopper has like the worst physics out of all of the bikes.
I mean, bikes in general just have really terrible physics.
Oh god, that was right on the camera. Let's see. I got it.
Nice.
Wait, well, I almost wait.
Oh, it's
wait.
fine. Recovered.
Oh, we have it. There we go.
Perfect.
Sure.
Saved it.
Fully intended. I definitely didn't accidentally almost, crash.
Perfectly fine. Intended. You did, a good half 180 backflip back to the forward flip, star points.
I'm glad it's been working. Also, I do want to highlight something about this game because Mass Event, I always put it a little bit generous, and I have been doing better at this game. I think my PB is like a 1 hour, but it's not actually 1 hour, it's like 58 minutes. I forgot to submit it. So if we beat like a 58-minute time, then that's like a legitimate PB. Anyway, now it's time to fight Shadow Boss. He looks awfully familiar.
Isn't that Akuba?
No, it's Shadow Boss.
It's Shadow Boss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from a hit game.
Boss of Shadows.
Fighter Street?
Yeah. Alley Brawl.
There you go. There you go.
See, the Shadow Boss. I don't even know why I grabbed this. I don't need it.
You just want to be super.
Walk. just walk. I like the song they play at the end here. And clear. Woo. All right, 3 major hubs down with 1 left to go. It is a little bit longer than the last one. As I mentioned, each one kind of scales in difficulty, but that is 3 hubs down. We saw all the great bosses, big zombie, 2 big zombie, a car, and Shadow Boss.
That car was very difficult.
We don't get to see the car again, do we?
No.
Like, it died.
They don't have insurance.
It could come back.
They don't have insurance.
If it came back, it would flip over immediately. Have you not been seeing these cars?
It's not like anybody in Dead Rising 3 is a mechanic or anything.
Of course.
He's not a good mechanic.
Well, no, he's not a mechanic. He's a cat.
Exactly.
He got rid of his mechanic costume. He's wearing a cat costume. That's how it works. Jobs are tied to costumes. Dress for the job you want. And he wants to be a cat.
Changed professions real quick.
Time for a quick donation on that note?
Go for it.
VJ Smite sending in $10 to MSF. I can't believe Ecdycis didn't want to wear a matching costume on stage.
I thought about it, but I don't think I'll look as good as Nick does.
Smite saying what we were all thinking. Thank you so much for your generosity.
There's only one player. You can go for one more.
Sure, and one other note. It just struck me this time when we saw it, but I remembered that power-up you mentioned earlier is the Yashichi from a lot of Capcom games, but especially 1942.
Hey, I was right. Cool.
Yep, and Wolfenstein with $5. Rolling ball!
There we go. All right, so now this is like probably the best hub because it's like, hey, now you're actually playing the game. We're going to break military supplies. We do not actually get Rolling Buckler nearly as early, so we have to play the game normally. It's kind of shocking. We're not just going to roll around, possibly at the speed of sound.
Possibly.
I hope none of the fireworks go off. That won't be very good for us.
I mean, they did go off there, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, the route has very much changed for this section. Trying to make sure that we can break them using the variety of weapons, because we literally do not get the super until I think the 5th one is down, which is most of the level. In fact, it would have been nice to have for that one. And it's funny because there is a super right back there, but we are actually going to avoid grabbing that, which is kind of shocking considering most of this run has been Rolling Buckler. However, there was going to be one right here, and it's along the way, and we have to dead stop right here anyway. See, there it is right there.
Very convenient.
I don't know, there's a weird input buffering where sometimes Felicia will just jump 5 times and you are hoping she doesn't.
Input buffering in my Dead Rising?
Well, at least she's not doing a giant flip and then dying immediately.
True.
Would be quite shocking. All right, and then we have this right here. And clear. Violence doesn't solve anything, but it sure does feel good. What a quote. Anyway, do we have a couple of donations?
That's Felicia at her core. We certainly do. Mola Mola with $25. Rolling Buckler. Have a great run, Ecdycis. And a donor who, for pretty obvious reasons, didn't want to be identified with the $100 donation. Who is your favorite Cats character? Minus McCavity.
You know, I'm not going to lie, I've never seen Cats.
I don't remember the name of the character, but the one that James Corden plays.
That's my least favorite.
That or the Taylor Swift one.
We'll go with that one. That's my favorite too. Anyway, vehicle retrieval is back. We're going to be grabbing a few. This one's probably one of the better ones because only one of the vehicles has a chance to flip over. I mean, I hate that I said that out loud, because now that I said that out loud, they're all going to flip over, even this one. But
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be, keep calm and quiet and not say that I believe in you, that you're not going to flip the vehicle over.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Roller Hog's gonna ruin his night.
I have to say that.
We'll see. Maybe it will. Maybe we'll, get there nice and easy on the garages. I don't even know what they're doing with all these cars anyway. They're taking a random garage.
Storage?
I suppose, yeah, I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it?
I mean, this is a zombie apocalypse. You grab what you can and reuse.
Also, oddly enough, there is a story to this game. It's not just rolling around as a cat. The story is kind of a spin on Dead Rising 3, where the main villain will have his own costume at the end of the game. But you will be
a cat?
He won't be a cat, I'll tell you that. He's definitely not going to be a cat.
Shame.
Just a bit.
I appreciate that it looks like we're making returns to the Onimusha garage. Looking forward to that series coming back in a little bit here.
Yeah, one of the cool things about this game is they kind of give a lot of love to a lot of the IPs that don't normally get focused on until like lately. Also, hope this doesn't crash.
You're fine.
No.
Nope. Roller Hog done it again.
It wasn't me, it was you, Jinx and Texas.
I definitely jinxed that. I'm so sorry.
Well, this game do be doing its physics.
For what it's worth, I think that was like one of the only really bad parts of this run so far. Like, everything else was really good. So hopefully,
it's not too bad. Like, at least it's not gonna happen.
If it happens again, I'm blaming you 100%. Okay.
See? Yes. It's because I said it wasn't gonna happen. It didn't happen.
You willed it into existence. That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Like Roller Hog's ruined too many runs for me to trust it.
For what it's worth, I think we got like 3 buys earlier when I did a literal flip.
Yeah, you got lucky like 3 times.
Can't win them all.
True.
A cat has 9 lives. It just makes sense.
Oh, I think I can at least do this though. Do I make this?
Oh,
I gotta go for it. Oh, I missed. Oh, you know what? Wait. All right.
So
Would have
close.
liked that, but I think we'll be all right. The super management got a little bit weird because of that roller hog, but I just have to make it that last one. I kind of saved the worst for last.
I mean, it's also the slowest one here, so it's not too bad.
Also, I need to make sure that I actually grab the upgrade, because I think it is back here, right? Not tofu. I don't want tofu. I'm sure I'll find it later. Imagine I don't.
I mean, the next level's got a fair few supers you can grab.
Oh, yeah, no. This is the one I wanted. I wanted to grab this. Oink. This is the worst, going backwards reverse in all the car. Oh, my God. If this car flips, can you imagine?
I would be very surprised. Most
you
of the time, the
flip
bulky
that-
ones are good.
I was gonna say, if you managed to flip that vehicle, I would just be more impressed more than anything, because it'd be very difficult.
All right, well, that wasn't too bad of a level, I don't think. I think that was rather solid outside the roller hog. But you think the one that has, a literal tricycle wouldn't be the one to flip? It has a giant wheel. Anyway, clear.
I think it's the weight that causes it.
Possibly, you got a massive steamroller wheel and then a small wheel.
All right. How about we get a couple of things read?
We've got one from Felicia herself, $25. Rolling Buckler! Rolling Buckler! Yeah! I'm getting dizzy. You'll be able to take a break in just a little bit, sweetie. $25 from Genevieve. I've watched many GDQ events in the last 15 years. This is my first time watching with my girlfriend. I love you, Maybelle. Thank you so much.
All right. That was a sweet one. So I do wish I had the Super. It's not the end of the world, but now they make the bonus stage in like a side-scrolling game. I don't actually remember what this is a reference to. I'm not like the best at all the old school Capcom games. But we had a cool song, and the reason why I wanted that item was because this area very specifically is kind of a pain to clear, and that way we just clear it almost immediately.
Yeah, I don't think you had that in practice.
No, I missed the item entirely. I forgot about it in practice. Also, the bikers died. I don't even think they had a chance to spawn. I think they just immediately died.
But you did defeat the bikers.
Also, this is going to be the most cursed screen in the game.
Oh. That's a bit up close and personal.
Yeah, I don't know why it zooms like that. I guess jumping on that car just kind of breaks it. But I know everyone's a fan of Felicia Nick.
It's just the more you see of her, the more haunting it is.
Yeah, a little bit. See, the funny part too is they could have very easily given the costume to like the only like chick character in the game, but they gave it to Nick.
I mean, it would have worked on Frank, to be fair, you know.
It could have worked on Frank, but they gave him BB Hood, who's also from Darkstalkers, funny enough. And would be the best character in the game if not for Felicia being fast. Also, what are you doing? There we go. Also, something that's pointed out to me that I've never known about Felicia, her claws have like high heels on them.
Yeah, it's on her feet.
I've never noticed that because I'm not usually checking out her feet.
Well,
You want us
unfortunately, if you pay attention to this still here, you can see like a bit of heel with the raised leg.
Thanks,
I noticed the giant hands with claws, or the the blue hair, but I was pointed out to me in the practice room.
By Texan.
Yeah, by Texan.
Violence, rhythm, fashion. Truly, a girl can do it all. Last Pirate 89 with $50. Thank you for all you do and what you support. Thank you so much for your support.
All right. So we have 2 levels left, actually. Really close to beating the whole game. This one is going to be a lot longer, and it's going to test all of our routing. So it is another bomb stage. Also, you can see the door didn't even load in. There's going to be a lot of the door didn't load in. There we go. I think I can go out here.
I meant to ask earlier, but this one looks like it's pointing you towards the bombs. Did that help with routing?
Honestly, like, the game's not too mean at that. Like, pretty nice to, like, oh, go here. But the big difference is that, like, in that one level we did earlier, that was the circle. Doing that's usually just a lot more efficient with the way the spinning route works. And speaking of the routes, Natalie, would you like to, I guess, fill in a bit here?
Yeah, so essentially what we're doing is we are going to try and get those capsules again for that super tube roll as far as we can to get to those bombs. We're going to try and pick up as many powers that we can in order to increase our damage and just swipe away at the bombs. With this specific route, we want to kind of get to the closest bombs as possible. Is this the one that has the capsule at the end as well?
It does, yes. Well, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, so at the very last bomb, we're going to route it in a way where we are going to destroy that last bomb and pick up the last super so that we can carry it over into the last round.
Also, I can't believe the game actually loaded in the assets. Like the last 3 runs I've done in this game, it didn't do that. There we go. Yeah, we'll have one little different thing near the end here. Because we have another one of those little, I don't know what to call them. You don't have names for tricks. You just roll over that thing. And it's going to be like a small gap that we're going to try to fit through. Also, there's a super zombie. You just chilling, but we're going to ignore him entirely because he's not the boss. The bomb is. In fact, I think, wait, where did the bomb go?
Behind.
Oh, there it is.
You just exit your super just before it.
Ow. Actually, he is putting a stop to everything. Out of the way, you. Okay, that was a little bit scuffed, but I think we should be fine.
It looked like you were going to get caught underneath that table or whatever.
Hey, we got it.
Nice.
Okay, wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Like, a little bit scuffed for a bit, but we got it. And there's one right here, which is going to be our friend. And we can just... I'm just going to run for it. I'm not going to bother spinning here.
We just had to exit the spin anyway to just get on top, so...
And with that, we have all the bombs left, and we're going to be hitting the final stage, which is a boss rush. We had plenty of bosses before. We're going to have, I guess, what do you think is going to happen? Who do you think they bring back? Also clear.
Man, Shadow boss?
They might. They might. We shall see. Anyway, how about we get, I guess, a quick final round donation? How about we do like 3?
You've got it. $50 from Justin. I've watched every GDQ ever since the first one way back in the day. So amazing to see what this community has become. Here's for the push towards $1 million. And Bunch of Bears with $300 to MSF. I'm so grateful to have participated in Artist Alley. Nothing but love for everybody who makes GDQ this amazing. That includes you. Yes, you.
Let's go.
Also donating towards Chris Route because I love to cause trouble.
All right. So at this point, we're at the finale. It's playing the menu music. Also, they just kicked me over. So we're going to mostly keep the same strat here. It's literally bringing back every single enemy we fought in the game. So first one is going to be the bikers. And then it's Super Zombie, our old friend. Although I am going to apologize early. They're not bringing him back to the car.
Oh, honestly, that's a waste. Waste of a car.
Oh, so did I get damage him that time?
You just missed him.
Yeah, just barely.
That's fine. I missed it. It's not the end of the world. And don't worry, they're going to bring back, the sequel to this fight. You know, the one everyone's favorites. The one where they just bring in 2. Oh, look, there they are.
Look, it's just Bill and Dave. You know, it's perfectly fine.
What makes them super? Is it because they're larger?
Yes.
Yes.
Also, the other guy is, like, lazing around. He doesn't even do anything. Okay, so the first part's pretty easy, as long as he... buddy, what are you doing? Did he actually live... Wow, he lived that.
Yeah.
Well, it was easy.
No, you're fine.
He's avoided, like, 3 hits now. My God, what a guy. He really wanted to have that dub.
Well, he is super.
Yeah, that's true, he is. Anyway, it's Shadow Boss. He's back. Yeah, apparently he didn't actually die.
You just took a nap.
We tried. Anyway, a few things are very important here. We're going to be grabbing both of these upgrades, and it's kind of nice because Shadow Boss really hates me. He has seen our cosplay, he is not a fan, and he's going to come to immediately try and beat me up. Luckily for us during that time, actually, is he even moving? What's he doing? I don't think he moved.
Looks like he's stuck.
He's doing his best out
What is he doing?
He's stuck.
Well, he's supposed to come after us. Yeah, I think he got stuck on a wall. Anyway, yeah, I imagine a lot of fighting game players really wish this was their online Akuma mains, because, yeah, he just died immediately. I don't think he tried.
He just gave up. He just saw what you did to the...
Well, don't worry, his friends are here. There's 3 Shadow Bosses now.
You got 1 Shadow Boss, you need 3. 1.
All right, so we do have a setup. Well, we should have a setup, provided Shadow Boss doesn't... Okay, there we go. So we're going to grab the power. We're going to grab the armor. And then we're just going to roll back into Shadow Boss. All 3 of them. If we do this right, we should be able to get a lot of damage off the AoE. And honestly, just the best way to do this by far. Looks like 1's down. Looks like 2 is down. And that is 3 down. Hopefully I can get the super. And now we're ready for the final boss. And the day Bison graced your speedrunning events was the most important day of your life. But for him, it was... It's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
It's
Okay, Wednesday. Wait, it's Tuesday when I woke up. Anyway, I saved this item just for this. We are just going to spam everything, spamming specials, spamming supers. This is the final boss of Dead Rising, done as Bison. We're doing pretty good on damage. Can get a little bit risky once we run out of the ability there. And luckily for us, there are supers on the side. Time will be coming up in a moment, and it'll be very easy to know. When we see that clear, that will be time. Also, for reference, I, in the practice room, got a new world record of 57:45. So if we, anything lower than that is an actual record. My old one before GDQ was actually like, I think a 58-minute run that I forgot to submit, and then I lost the VOD.
Nice.
We're not done yet. We have to wait for that clear. GG. Woo! Anyway, that was Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha. New Game Plus.
They say never PB by too much, but how does 25 seconds sound?
That feels nice, especially considering I think before I was in the practice room today, I had like a 58. So I don't know what happened today, but yeah, no, I got like 2 PBs in a row, and that is officially world record. Although, in all fairness, there's like 5 people who run this game, and you need an Xbox for that, which is probably why. But you know what? I beat my old time. GG. Congratulations, you saved the city. Thank you for playing. And I just want to say thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this run of Dead Rising. I've ran a lot of Dead Rising in the past, and this one was quite special. I guess not only getting world record during a GDQ, although I probably could beat that when I get home, but also just being able to have, I think it's my 10th run that I've actually done at these AGDQ and SGDQ events. So thank you for having me. Thank you for having my couch. Once again, if you want to ever see what I'm doing, I'm around there somewhere on the screen. So hopefully you have a nice rest of your day and rest of the marathon. And thank you.